So Michelle Obama gave a speech where she referenced the fact that the White House was originally constructed in part by slaves, and it was part of an inspirational arc that she was drawing from the early times in our country to today when she and her family are living in that same house. Bill O'Reilly looked into that history and talked about how the slaves are well-fed and they had good lodging and all of that. And so we attacked him, and many people attacked him, for drawing seemingly not just the wrong conclusion from what Michelle had been trying to say, but an oddly wrong, an unnecessarily wrong conclusion. Well, he thinks that we were being unfair to him, that the media in general was being unfair to him. And so he talked about it on his show yesterday, and so we've got a couple of videos for you. Here he is talking with Eric Bowling about the reaction.
Bowling, what say you?
Well, what say me is, Bill, I think what you did exactly, you went through it. You went through some history. You went through some examples. You went through some facts. In fact, I wrote it down. You said records show, and then later on you said Michelle was essentially correct. Don't forget, these left-wing zealots don't realize you write books about history, and I think you did. You cited history.
They realize
Okay,
it. This is designed, though. This is designed, Geraldo, and you know this better than anybody. This is a designed attack. Came out of Media Matters, spread to Mother Jones and the other smear publications, and then into the Daily News and USA Today, designed to diminish me and to harm the Fox News channel. That's what it's designed to do.
I think you're probably correct about it.
There is no feud in media, perhaps, longer than Bill O'Reilly versus Media Matters.
Right.
He hates being quoted. All they do is put a video of him speaking up.
Yeah, and
That's
there's also no feud at Fox News. Do you agree with me? Yes. Do you agree with me? Yes. All right. On to the next story. I mean, let's ask Geraldo Rivera and Eric Bowling what they think of this, right?
Do you think that the USA Today are smear merchants? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're intending to smear me. That's the whole point of the paper, right? Right. Of course it is. Look, I've had my issues with USA Today in the past, but I don't think they're on an anti-TYT agenda. They just reported something outrageous you said. Really? Like, you're going to say the slaves who built the White House had great lodging and really nice food, and you think people aren't going to report that?
Yeah. Or that you don't understand why it's weird that you wanted to do that. Like, I'm not against fact-checking or historical research, but that so many people heard that line and had the natural reaction of like, man, that's good. Look at what we're capable of. But he was like, no, I got to dig in. I got to find something.
Yeah.
And he didn't find something, thankfully, because she was right. But he wanted to, and that's a weird impulse.
Yeah, what I don't get is if there are so many people who are speaking out against you, you have two options. Option number one is just don't bring it up again. You know, you want to be defiant. You don't want to make a correction or apologize. That's fine. Just don't bring it up again.
Yeah.
But if you have all these people saying, hey, you know what? Slaves don't get hired, okay?
Right.
And you're getting all this criticism. You know, it would actually be a lot more commendable if you just accept the fact that you were wrong and just make a quick correction and say, hey, you know what, that phrase didn't really make any sense. Slaves are not hired. Slaves don't apply to be slaves. They don't give out their slave resume and hope that someone's going to hire them. It doesn't work that way. You know, apologize for it. If you don't want to, then just don't bring it up. Don't bring your two ridiculous friends on your show to agree with you. It's so lame.
Well, why don't we actually show that second ridiculous friend? Because Michael said, why doesn't he get Geraldo to defend him? Well, Geraldo is actually here to defend him.
Philadelphia, which, as you correctly point out, and you're generally correct in your historic assertions, this was the nation's capital from 1790 until 1800. You know, the problem is, and you know it, Bill, that anytime you give them any opening, they're going to get you, they're going to cut you whenever they can. It is preposterous to believe that you are soft on slavery. The opening you gave them is that you, like in the Holocaust, you can only speak about it in unequivocal damnation. Because you particularly,
but that's what I did.
And all of us at the channel, you know, we have to be careful not to give our enemies an opening.
Okay, so we're going to show you a video shortly where O'Reilly goes completely over the top, but he said, that's what I did. Well, no, if someone was like, okay, well, I found a camp during the Holocaust where, look, to be fair, they got good food and good lodging. That's what you did. That sounds absurd. You would never do it in that case, and you don't understand why what you did is the same.
And what about Geraldo Rivera saying, as if you can only talk about the Holocaust with damnation? Like, what raves are there?
He's so mad that he can't talk about the good points.
So I just want to also point out the other trick they did there. No, you were right, Bill. Originally, Philadelphia was the capital. That wasn't the issue.
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't the issue at all.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were right about that, but that's not what anybody brought up.
Yeah, you're right. My name is Geraldo.
He
and,
was right, by the way.
Yes, okay. Wow.
Okay, so let's go to this third video where O'Reilly reveals what these attacks on him are actually intended to accomplish.
Comes a time, Geraldo, and you've been with the network, what, 15 years now?
16, yeah.
Okay, 16. And I've been from the beginning 20. I think the time has come now where this whole network's going to have to band together, all of us. And we're going to have to call out the people who are actively trying to destroy this network by using lies and deception and propaganda. We're going to have to start to call them out by name because that's how bad it's become.
I agree with that. We have to, absolutely band together with our colleagues
That's right.
of color. You and me and Juan and everybody and Eric all together and say to them that you're full of crap.
Because it's getting to the point of danger. I'm afraid it's going to happen with Fox News. Geraldo gets water dumped on him. What if somebody hit him in the head with a club? Our reporters can't go out on the floor. Jesse Waters goes on the floor of the Democratic convention, and some photographer goes up and starts swearing at him and cursing at him right in his face. This is provocation. These people are doing this. They want me dead, Bowling, literally dead.
Well, no. I'm not sure they want you dead. They want to make a statement.
I'm not sure that they actually want you dead. I can only speak for myself. I don't actually want Bill O'Reilly dead. But look how quickly he jumps from somebody swore at Jesse Waters to they want me dead.
It's all about Bill O'Reilly. The world's all about Bill O'Reilly.
And again, really fast, he called it lies and propaganda. And he referenced exactly where it came from. It's Media Matters. They do not add any commentary. They simply put the video of him speaking. If it's propaganda, then you're the propagandist because you're the only one speaking.
That's funny, yeah.
It's interesting, though, because he's talking about provoking violence, and he's the person who repeatedly referred to a late-term abortion doctor as a baby killer again and again and again, and he doesn't want to take any responsibility for that. But, I don't want anyone to do anything violent against anyone else. Don't ever use any type of physical force. If someone's yelling at you or is cursing at you, I mean, it sucks, but look, there are people out there. I know it does depend. And look, doesn't matter if you're a public figure of any sort. People want you dead. That I'm not excusing it.
Or at least say they do.
They say they do. They write about it on social media. I wish it didn't come with the territory, but unfortunately, it does come with the territory.
So first of all, why are we talking about people wanting Bill O'Reilly dead? This started about him, his outrageous comments about slavery. Who the hell's threatening his life?
Right.
Like if he sees a YouTube comment, okay, I would take that with a grain of salt, right? I don't know anyone in any position that officially in the media or politics that said anything about harming Bill O'Reilly. That seems to be either out of whole cloth or he's worried about some commenter online. If we did that, we'd have 3 lines of security here because, boy, have we had a decent amount of vitriol against us. Now, on the just, I don't, I obviously don't want people's broadcasts being interrupted, given that that's happened to us. And so if Fox News was here, and they are here, right? Yeah. I wouldn't go up to Fox News and be like, bah! Right?
Yeah.
Or dump water on Geraldo's head.
Or do any
they
of
were
those.
wrong to do that.
Yeah. And so, but again, this has nothing to do with the original slavery comments.
No,
and so that's,
doesn't.
Yeah.
And also, yes, it does, because the original slavery comments are the provocation that Bill O'Reilly is talking about. He's saying the people who interrupted Jesse Waters' report were provoking him. No, they were responding to the provocation that Bill O'Reilly issued with those slavery comments. So it's not, they were retaliating. They were not provoking.
Yeah. It's basically they're doing the Trump defense of I'm just a counterpuncher.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
So I think, though, this goes a little deeper. Now that their daddy is no longer in the building, Roger Ailes, the guy who started Fox News Channel and supported all these guys, hired all these guys, they're feeling a little vulnerable. And remember, what's the defining trait of a conservative? Insecurity and fear. So I'm afraid of change. I'm afraid of the others. I'm worried about blacks, Mexicans, gays, my way of life. oh, daddy, bring me back to 1955. So now they're adrift, and daddy's not home anymore. Where are the fathers?
Yeah.
Okay. And so so two things are happening here. One is,
Sorry, that was really good.
okay. One is Bill O'Reilly is feeling a little insecure, like I don't have ales to back me up anymore. Oh my God, now I got to fight my own battles, right? And then secondly, I think he's trying to circle the wagons here and say, okay, guys, let's be calm. I was the oldest son, right?
I'm the new daddy.
Yeah, I'm going to be Papa Bear here.
Yeah.
And so, hey, we got Geraldo, Bowling, all the blockheads, we agree? Okay?
Yep.
Remember, I'm Papa Bear. We're going to circle the wagons. We're going to name names, okay? And they shouldn't mess with us. I got a Papa Bear.